What's up, everybody? It's your girl Riku Keyblade Master, and I have a movie review for you. Just to recap, I have not done movie reviews in a long time, so let me explain how my order goes. Also for myself too, so I do not get it mixed up. I tell you the title, then I wait for spoilers, unless it's a really, really old movie and you've just been living under a rock. Then I go ahead with the summary of the movie, after which I will give my rating both in stars and on a scale of 1 to 10, and explain my reasons why. So without further ado, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2: Out of the Shadows. Oh boy, where the heck do I even start with this? Well, for one, I do agree with the nostalgia critic, okay? A lot of the CGI looks... Ew. Particularly Krang and a few changes that were made to the turtles. Heck. Now that that's out of the way, yeah, fun fact though, before I go on, they're actually, for a while, I don't know if they did this for all the live action movies or like just the musical tour or whatever. They actually had the actors walk around in their Ninja Turtle outfits. You know, while everybody else was wearing normal clothes, boom, you had these guys in Ninja Turtle outfits, and wow. Just a normal day at the office. Anyway, here we go. So, excuse my summary, because sometimes some of the stuff I couldn't really see because of it being dark complected. So here we go. It starts out with them doing some sort of a formation stunt. I'll just go pick up a pizza. And Donnie, being annoying as he is, won't stop bugging Leo until he does his part of the stunt. Even though it hurts him to do so. Well, they get the pizza. They're like, see you next week, Mike, or Nick, or whatever his name was. And then they go back into the sewers. And then at some point, they learn that they basically, then we cut to another scene where they're attending a basketball game, and I think it's Mikey that kind of gets them exposed, because he drops a pizza slice on accident, and one of the players is like, dude, explain this. There's pizza on my Nike. And one of the other team members just goes, welcome to New York. Because weird shit happens in New York. Anyways, Which that actually does hold true in real life too. Weird shit does happen in New York. The only thing that's missing is the actual set of turtles living in the fucking sewer system. That would be so fucking badass and really scary at the same time. Which brings me to the next, back to the basketball game where the camera guy gets all the credit for taking Shredder down because the turtles, they didn't want to expose themselves out of fear. Not only that, but they're like me. Nobody would give me the credit. Nobody would put the credit where credit is due anyway. Nobody would give me the credit. Nobody would give them the credit, even though we deserve it. And, so, yeah, I see a lot of similarities between the four turtles and me. Because jump to the next scene where they get back home and they find out that they get back home quickly to tell Shredder, oh shit, dude, or Splinter, that Shredder is planning on breaking out of jail during transport. Which, of course, we cut to a scene with him, Bebop, and Rocksteady. And they tell Shredder they're huge fans of his work, and they even modeled some of their stuff after him because of how huge of a fan they are towards Shredder. Then here comes kind of where they start the breakout. Then enters the Turtles with their garbage truck manhole cover shooter, which nobody believes Casey at all. So I can see why he's an ass. Because nobody believes him, which I get it. That police chief is a bitch, dude. I'm not gonna lie. April goes undercover and obtains some information during the basketball game too. By the way, I don't know how in the fuck I missed that. Sorry if this review is all over the place. It's just, like I said, I haven't done one of these in a while, so it's a little tough. And movie reviews are, regardless of whether you just seen it or not, they're pretty tough to do. Anyways, so while April O'Neil is getting the doctor's information, she encounters the person of interest. Well, one of the people of interest, excuse me. This one guy, I forget who his name is. This black guy who's, I guess, supposedly supposed to be the villain, I guess. But she has to get, like, so close to his device in order to obtain his information, only to realize there's an erasure protocol. But before all of the information she obtains gets erased, she does manage to get some information on that, from that device, and she sends it to Donnie and the other turtles. And that's when they find out, oh shit, Shredder is planning on a breakout while they're at the baseball game, is when they're doing this. While the turtles are in the nosebleed seats, Raph is like, what you got, April? And that's when all of that goes down. That's when shit hits the fan. Then that's when they rush home and boom. They tell Shredder, or they tell Splinter, oh my god. They tell Splinter everything. And he says one of the funniest fucking lines I have ever heard out of a CGI rat. Why are you wasting time talking to a grumpy old rat? Go, go, go! Go get him! If Shredder is free, then that means he is free to rain his terror on the city just like he did last time. And, you know, Splinter just had the same attitude as Juniper Lee's grandma when, that gopher thingy fucking got loose in that one episode. You guys know which one I'm talking about. Anyway, the point is that the point is they go through and then stuff happens with some Drake dude. And eventually it leads to this purple ooze that was invented to turn humans into animals. So one of the turtles gets the idea of maybe I can reverse engineer it to do vice versa. And I understand, and that is where this movie hits home for me. Because I understand what it's like to want that kind of change. Because you guys know me. I have always wanted to see what it was like on the other side. To see what it was like with actual fields of vision and not have messed up optic nerves, not have severe retinal scarring. You know, I was wondering if a serum like that could just give me, either turn me into an eagle or, you know, give me the vision of an eagle. But here comes the moral of the movie. Once they find out that Shredder is free after Bebop and Rocksteady get their transformations, one's a rhino and one's a fucking warthog thingy, which, why those two animals, I'm not quite sure. Maybe due to the fact that, seeing one of them as a rhino again reminded me of that Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy episode with Principal Good Vibes' man H2O. Or rather, Principal Good Bling. You guys know which episode I'm talking about. Anyways, so, yeah, I'm glad the series never did that again. Because Good Vibes, that was, I'm sorry, you cannot, that wasn't gold. Anyway, that was just one of the least favorite sides of him. I never really liked him as a character, but, oh well. That's just one of my least favorite sides, and that is definitely, like, crazy. Anyway, like I said, why a rhino and why a warthog? I totally don't know what the creators were thinking. But yeah. Then we cut to Shredder and Krang working together. only for Shredder to get double-crossed. And again, leads back to the moral of the movie. Like, should I reverse engineer this and turn us into humans? So we can live among the others and not be labeled as freaks, monsters, which during their plan to break into the police station to get dirt on Drake or whatever, April and Casey took the fall, while basically the turtles were about to get shot to death. And we cut to the scene in the sewer where one of them is like, you should have seen their faces. They weren't just scared. It was like actual hate. And Splinter pulls the four of them aside and tells them, "It will be all right, my sons. People are always often pretty much judgy of what they don't realize. They fear what they do not understand," is the way he put it. And that just reminded me of me all over again. Like I said, that me and that second movie have a lot of similarities. I wonder what it would have been like if I could have reverse engineered that syndrome or serum, excuse me, and gave myself the vision of an eagle. You know? But in the end, they went with what Donnie said. We don't need that kind we really don't need that kind of change. And maybe that made me realize maybe I don't either. Just like I learned another huge lesson yesterday too from my mom. She told me that, you know, what I do may seem small, but it actually adds up and turns out big in the end. And what she meant was, I may not seem like, to me it may not seem like everything I do really amounts to much, but then I did some thinking and realized she's right. But yeah. Back to the movie, the fact of the matter is they finally, after, you know, a battle with April and them trying to get the serum back and whatnot, and they actually do turn into humans a little bit at one point, but then, like I said, Leo takes that thing and just shatters it in the end. And they have a scene where they come out of the sewer and they explain who they are. They're like, we're not really into labels, so call us what you want. Freaks, monsters, whatever. Either way, we're just four brothers who hate bullies and love the city of New York. And as far as anything goes, we're one of the only teams that can stop Krang and the others. So a huge battle ensues. They win, and they finally get the recognition they deserve. But then they finally decide, straight up, we're going to continue with the arrangement that we've had. A lot of times our best work is in the shadows. And I can't help but feel like that's mine too. I forgot to mention a personal connection section. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, if I were to give this movie a rating, I really wouldn't know. I'd say about 3, maybe 4 stars. Due to, some of the designs being kind of, I mean, Krang, I get it, he's supposed to look ugly, but why change the turtles? I mean, come on. And second, it's funny how in one of the scenes, like during the battle, one of them addresses him as like a big old thing of bubble gum. They're like, "Let's go, Hubba Bubba." I forgot to mention that. Anyway, yeah, I just had to, wow. I found myself rewinding the movie a lot of times because of my personal connections. But that doesn't change the score that... And if I were to score, I would say maybe a 7 out of 10. I don't know, it just seems like when I was watching that, a lot went through my head, and I apologize for this score. It may seem low, but I gotta say, some of the CGI, I mean, you could say that was the problem with it. Back then, that's why they changed it up, because they really weren't sure what format they wanted to go with. They wanted to go all over the place, which kind of felt sort of uncool in a way. I don't know. They made something look ugly when it really shouldn't have. But Krang, they over-uglied him. Ew. Talk about nightmare fuel. But anyway, guys, that has been my review for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, Out of the Shadows. Which I'm just gonna probably title this Out of the Shadows movie review. You guys know which franchise it's from. And great, I just heard a fire truck pass by. So until next time, comment, rate, subscribe to become a Keyblade wielder. I've been Riku Keyblade Master. Peace, and I love you all. Stay safe and stay awesome as usual. Especially the stay safe part. And stay yourselves. I cannot stress that enough.